Good evening and welcome to my bar mitzvah. I was born on Gimel Sivan, which is the first day of the Shloshis Simei Hagbala, the 3 days of preparation for Matan Torah. On this day, Hashem commanded Moshe Rabbeinu, Hagbal Asar v'kidashtam, make a fence around the mountain and make it holy. The Rebbe explains that to prepare for Matan Torah, we should use these days to add in energy, strength, and light, starting by making a geder, a fence, to not allow the Yetzer Hara near and have any influence, and this way to become holy and ready for Matan Torah. As I enter this important time in my life, I have the Torah as my guide, teaching me the values of how to live my life. I'm fortunate to have incredible grandfathers who have lived and continue to live every single one of these values. They have created an extraordinary legacy that I can learn from as I forge my own path forward. The foundational value of being a Yid is Emunah and Bitachon. Emunah is belief, and Bitachon is an unshakable trust in Hashem, that everything He does is good for us. When I think about my grandfathers, the first and foremost thing that comes to mind is their unshakable Emunah and Bitachon in Hashem, who continues to take them through every step of their life. When my elder Zaydi Rebbe Foal Wolshansky was arrested in Russia for studying Torah as a young boy, he knew that Hashem was guiding him, and come what may, this is what he has to do. Even in the darkest moments, when my elder Zaydi Reb Nosson Kanansky requested visas to leave Russia, the woman looked at my Zaydi and said, "You are going to die here," and tore his papers into shreds. He never lost his trust that Hashem would take them out of Russia and they would be free. As Hasidim, we know that the Rebbe is the Rayin Neman who shepherds our trust and faith in Hashem. By being mekosher to the Rebbe, our faith and trust in Hashem is strengthened. But how do we practice his kashrus? In Ayin Yom of Chav Dalet Sivan, which is my parents' anniversary, the Rebbe writes, "The true bond is created through Torah. When you study my Maimarim, read the Sichos, and associate with those dear to me, and fulfill my request of saying Tehillim, and this is the bond." My Zaydi Wolshansky is a role model of living with the Rebbe's teachings of Torah. Whenever we make our trips to visit Morristown, my father always calls to find out if my Zaydi is home. He's usually in the middle of giving a class or coming from a shiur. Torah is his whole life. My Zaydi inspires me to be mekosher to the Rebbe through saying Chidas and Rambam and saying Tehillim on Shabbos Levarka. As the oldest in my family, I'm lucky to have special privileges which also come with responsibility. My parents often speak about the value of integrity, doing the right thing because it's the right thing, not because anyone is watching or because the other person will reciprocate. The act of doing the right thing is the reward. Before my great-grandfather, Rabbi Hershel Kotlarski, went into open heart surgery, he gave his boss a check, saying that in case I used the pen and kept it or used your phone line for personal reasons or anything like that, I'd like to pay for it now. His bold act of highest integrity to do the right thing and live with so much honesty is an inspiration to me as I'm going into the world. The Jewish nation is no stranger to tragedy and loss. We are a nation who has endured many hardships, and through it all we continue to choose joy. Simcha is a mitzvah. My elder Zaydi Chazan Beryl Zaltzman has dedicated his life to bringing Simcha to Yidden through song and laughter. Despite the many great hardships he endured under communist rule, he managed to escape with his family to Eretz Yisrael. Later he moved to Los Angeles, California, where he would perform concerts, skits, and plays to bring joy to the thousands of Holocaust and communism survivors. Life can bring challenges and hard times, and it is our choice to decide to choose Simcha, to find the joy in all of life's moments. When my Zaydi Kanalski was 7 years old in Russia, he had to learn in the underground bunker of their home, so he wouldn't need to go to the communist government schools. Every day his teacher, Rabbi Baruch Rickman, would come to his house and they would go to the cellar underneath the carpet in the kitchen. Only in the evening, when the sun would go down, would my Zaydi be able to go outside for fresh air, but only for 5 to 10 minutes, for fear that the neighbors would see him and inform the government that he was avoiding going to school. He would stroll in the yard with my grandfather, Zaydi Yoda Kulasher, as he would test him on a few lines of Tanya that he studied by heart that day.
Hazard Tanya Fuiswenig, with them saying, "Don't forget, Hazard Tanya Fuiswenig." When the Zaydi Fakultätisch auf spazieren.
When my Zaidi escaped from Russia in 1969 and went to the Rebbe for Yechidus for the first time, the Rebbe told him, "I heard you know Tanya by heart," and tested him on the first 4 lines of Perek Daled of Tanya. My Zaidi has always worked hard and has Baruch Hashem accomplished a lot. This past year he put up 150 menorahs, and he is always looking to add in his shluchas, always Ma'aleh HaKodesh. Inspired by my grandfather, in preparation for my bar mitzvah, I committed to studying 12 chapters of Tanya by heart. It was very challenging at first, and I wanted to give up many times. I kept at it even though it was really hard. I kept track of everything I learned on a calendar. There were many times where I lost momentum, and it would take time to get back into it. I'm grateful I stuck with it even though it was so hard. My grandfathers are my heroes. They have forged a path of how a chassid leads his life. I know that I have parents and grandparents' unwavering support for this important transition in my life, and most importantly, I have strong values to help guide my path forward. Today, I add my link to the unbreakable chain of the Jewish nation. Thank you for joining me in this important day in my life. I'm so blessed to have parents who value the joy of family and creating memories together. I would like to thank my grandparents, uncles and aunts, and friends who came from far and near to join in my simcha. May we merit to greet Mashiach together.